everyone, welcome to today's video. I was not expecting to film today at all. I had this video planned. I was meant to record it, but I was not planning to record it today, so this is very impromptu. I don't even know if I said it, but today I'm going to be sharing all the books that I want to read this winter, so I'm really freaking excited. Most of these books are books that I've been wanting to read and I want to try and read before the end of the year, and then some of them I feel like are just going to be books that I want to prioritize in the new year. Before I do dive into these books, I did want to kind of get your thoughts and opinions on something that I might want to start adding in my seasonal TBRs next year. And I know Ivana does this. She started to mention different books that she would recommend for that season in her TBR videos, in her seasonal TBR videos. And I kind of love that idea. I think it's fun to share what you want to read, but also share any books that you've previously read that you think could be a really good fit. But I also don't want to make an entire video on winter TBR books I would recommend, because for some reason, even though I'm on booktube and I'm talking about books, recommending books to other people really stresses me out. I feel like it's a me thing. I add so much pressure to it on what if I recommend something and someone hates it. So I was thinking that maybe in my seasonal TBRs, I'll talk about the books that I want to read, but then at the very end, maybe I'll also include a few picks that I think could work for the season. I'm thinking maybe that way it'll take some of the pressure off, but I can still give some books that I think could work really well for the season, in case you're hoping to compile your own list and you want some ideas on what you could add to your seasonal TBR. If you do seasonal TBRs. I really enjoy it when I've seen it in other people's videos, so I kind of want to maybe integrate it, but let me know your thoughts. Wait, did I introduce myself? If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Kat, and if you are not new here, welcome back. I'm so happy that you have chosen to stick around and hang out with me. All right, I think that's all I had to say. Let's just start diving into all these books. I have a total of, two of these books I'm just going to count as one, but I think it's a total of 11. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I have one book in mind that I don't currently have the copy for. So it's going to be 11-ish books. If we want to separate these out, it would be 12. Maybe I'll do that just so it's an even number. Let's just say it's 12 books for my winter TBR. The very first book that I have on this TBR and on the stack is The 7 Empty Houses by Samanta Schweblin. I believe this is a short story collection, and I don't really know anything else. I just loved Fever Dreams so much by Samanta Schweblin. I read that one earlier this year and I loved it. I don't need to read it in December, but I would like to prioritize it for the new year. It is translated by Megan McDowell, so just excited. I need to read more Samanta Schweblin. I want to see if she's going to be a favorite author of mine, so we'll see. So the next two books, I'm going to talk about them together because they're part of a series, but it is The Monk and the Robot Duology by Becky Chambers. So the first one is A Psalm for the Wild Bill and A Prayer for the Crowned Shy. I was specifically saving these for the month of December when it gets a little bit colder and it's a little bit darker, and I just want something that's sweet but also a little sci-fi cozy read. Don't really know too much, except that whenever I see people talk about it, for the most part, they love it. So I'm very excited. I finally have the copies of it, and I think it's gonna be a good time. I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. So, oh, that's so sweet. I actually don't know what that's called. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But it says this. It says, for anyone who could use a break. That's so sweet. I could use a break. I've had quite the week this week. So yeah, those are the next books that are on my TBR. And then up next, we have Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. I'm making this face because I feel like I've added this book to my TBR so many times and I've yet to read it. I've yet to pick it up. This is a collection of short stories by Jhumpa Lahiri. I have not read anything by Jhumpa Lahiri, and that needs to change. So definitely want to prioritize this one in December, if not December, January. I just need to finally get to this. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I need to just pick it up. Next up on the pile is The Vulnerable is The Vulnerables by Sigrid Nunez. I know I talked about this in another video. I don't remember which one, and I don't remember what I really said, but this is an arc that I got from Riverhead Books, and I need to read it desperately. It is out in the US. It was out back on November 7th, and I loved The Friend so much. So I need to just read it. I'm so excited, adding it to my list. I want to read it. If you've read it, pressure me into reading it because I don't know what I'm doing. I need to get to it. And then up next, while I was figuring out what I wanted to read this winter, I was looking through all my shelves and I don't know, this one stuck out to me. And then I read the first page and it does take place in January. So once I saw that, I was like, I'm adding this. I tried looking at the description to see anything, but the first page gave me all I needed to know. So that is Lucy by Jamaica Kincaid. From what I know from watching Ivana and Kat's videos, there's a mother-daughter relationship, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. Up next is Elena Knows by Claudia Piñeiro, I think. I should have looked that up. I have been wanting to read this book for the longest time, and I believe that there is, I don't know if it's dementia, but I think there's like some sort of illness that happens. I feel like this is a book that I'm gonna really love. I haven't read anything by this author, but it's translated, and the author is from Buenos Aires, so it's translated from Spanish. Of course, there's like a loud truck backing up right now. On the front, it says, a piercing commentary. Oh my god, I cannot read. Okay, it says, a piercing commentary on mother-daughter relationships, the indignity of bureaucracy, the burdens of caregiving, and the impositions of religious dogma on women. Wow, the first line of the back. When Rita's body is found hanging in the belfry of the church she devoted herself to, the investigation is swiftly closed. But her mother, Elena, refuses to accept the police's version of what happened, and despite the physical limitations imposed by her illness, embarks on a journey to call in an old debt, unfolding over a single day. Oh wow. Elena's arduous trek across Buenos Aires forces her to redefine everything she thought she knew about her relationship with her daughter, while confronting her with the ramifications of a fleeting encounter 20 years later. Written in an engrossing style that recalls John Choo and Thomas Bernard, this is a moving novel about hypocrisy that asks us if we can still change our views late in life and find a will to go on despite our failing bodies. I feel like this one's gonna mess me up for sure. Definitely need to get to it. I feel like it's gonna be a favorite. We will see. I will let you know once I get to it. Alright, so we are making our way through this stack, but up next is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. I recently bought this book, and I bought it as a little birthday gift to myself. I'm so happy that I own it. This is actually going to be a book that I buddy read with Kat, and I'm so excited. I don't think we decided on the winter, but Kat, can we please read it this winter? Because I want to add it to my TBR and I want to finally read it. This is one of those books that has just been on my list for the longest time. I think this one's also translated. Yep, translated by Ross Schwartz. The general gist of what I think it's about is these women are being kept underground somewhere. They're held captive and then one day they're just let out. Some of them have never even been out in the real world outside of where they were being held. Yeah, okay. Deep underground, that's all I need to know. That's the first line on the synopsis, so I'm very curious to see how I end up feeling about this, if I love it or if I don't love it. I don't know. Up next is actually a nonfiction, and this year, have I been bad? I feel like I've been kind of bad about reading nonfiction. For the most part, I have been reading memoirs, but even still, I feel like I haven't read as many memoirs as I've read in the past. I feel like memoirs used to be like a go-to for me, but not so much this year. I feel like I've only read like maybe a handful, but I do want to start making sure that with every TBR I add a nonfiction, and then, you know, I can always read more. So my nonfiction pick for this winter TBR is Except for Palestine, The Limits of Progressive Politics by Marc Lamont and Mitchell Plitnick. So, the glare. You can't. There you go. You can kind of see it there. This is a book that I've been seeing around on Bookstagram. I also talked to Kat, and she had read it and really recommended it. So choosing to add this one to my winter TBR, I'm just excited that I had this one and to continue learning and educating myself. And now we have 3 books. I cannot forget, I have another book that I don't own. The next book that I want to read is Trespasses by Louise Kennedy. I had talked to Kat about this, and there was like one point where I asked her if she thought that this would be a good winter read, and she said yes. And so I've just been holding on to this one until the winter. As soon as I was putting together my winter TBR, I immediately grabbed this one because the way she talked about this book made me want to pick it up so bad. I had tried reading Milkman. I almost said Milkfed. 2 completely different books. Milkman and Milkfed, very different. But I feel like I should start with this one and learn a little bit more about the Troubles. So that's why I'm deciding to pick this one up. It is about Northern Ireland during the Troubles. That's all I know. I also remember Kayla had a really good review on it, and it's just been on my radar since. And then seeing Kat rave about it, immediately added to my TBR. So 2 more books. The next one, I'm sure, could you? Yeah, you can kind of see. It's Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame, adjei-brenyah. I actually got a used copy of this one. It's freaking signed. I didn't even realize that it was signed when I picked it up. This book is kind of huge. I was just like holding it like a child. Wow, I have a signed copy. I wonder who gave it away. They didn't like it. But anyways, my plan is to listen to this on audio and physically read it, just because I've heard that the audiobook narration is so freaking good. But sometimes with audio, I need to also be reading like physically so I can focus. So I'm going to do a tandem read of it. From what I know, it's like Hunger Games, but like the prison system. That's what I think it's about. I haven't read anything by this author. I have Friday Black, but I haven't read it, and it's so tiny. This is another one that's been on my TBR for a long time, and it's also one that I've been telling myself that I'm going to read for a very long time, and I have yet to. I don't know. Maybe I'll sneak this one in. If I don't read this one, I need to at least read this one because it is a little shorty, so this one is not so much a shorty. This is really a huge book, no? Is this normal? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it's totally a normal size book. Anyways, really excited for this one. I think it's gonna be so good. And I'm kind of saving this for when I'm looking for something, I don't know how to describe it. Something that's not, no, that doesn't make sense either. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I feel like I have this one in mind for when I'm in a specific kind of mood, and I don't know what it is. Hopefully if I read this one, then that'll just make me want to pick this one up, or vice versa, whichever one I end up actually getting to. I like that I just like randomly also added this one into my winter TBR when it was not supposed to be on the list whatsoever. The final book that I don't have the copy for is, what is the book? It's by Nolan. What is the name of the book? Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm like completely spacing. It's there. Okay, Acts of Desperation. It was like on the tip of my tongue there. So the final book is Acts of Desperation by Nolan. Kat has me convinced. Ivana has me convinced. I feel like I remember seeing so many people talk about this book. I'm kind of scared for it. It just seems like such a book that will get like a reaction out of you, or like make you feel a certain type of way, or I don't know. I'm so curious to see how I feel about it. I know she's coming out with another book, I think next year in 2024. It's like Ordinary Something. I'll include a screenshot right here because I don't remember the name of it, but that one's coming out. So I kind of want to read, I keep forgetting this name, Acts of Desperation, because if I end up loving it, maybe I'll also want to read that one. And yeah, I just want to be on the Nolan train. I want to hang out with you. I want to talk about this book. I want to know what's in this book. I want to know what it's about. I don't have a synopsis. I think it's about a woman who's in a relationship with a man, and it doesn't seem like it's the greatest relationship. That's all I really know. Those are all the books that I wanted to talk about. I would love to know if there's any books on this list that you think I should get to as soon as possible. Ow. If there's any books you think I should get to as soon as possible, any books in the stack that you absolutely loved or hated, tell me all your thoughts and opinions on all of these books. I'd also love to know if there's any books that you're also feeling the pressure on trying to finish before the end of the year, because I definitely have a few on that list. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing what books I am hoping to get my hands on this winter. Hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.